Well, hello YouTube. I've just been warming up the old tube tester here, and I'm fixing to test the tubes for that RCA 56X. Right now I've got a 12J5 tube in there. The manual says it's a triode. I've already got all the functions set up, and we'll go ahead and run a shorts test. It says that we're supposed to hit P4, and the mutual conductance is supposed to be 1225. And it looks like it's right at 1225 on the meter. I'll do a line test here first. Let me see. Line adjustment. Well, it's showing right dead on right now. I might be able to get just a hair closer. There we are, just dead on. P4 is 10, 12, 1275. So this tube is just about perfect, I guess. Oh no, I read that wrong. It's 12J5. I was reading 12J7. Mutual conductance is 2000, and it was only showing 1225. We'll go ahead and run the English on it. Let's see, I don't know which one I'm supposed to press for English. I'll have to go back through the manual here and do that right quick. Well, it doesn't say which one to press for the English test, and there's not really anything on any of these up here to say which one to use, so I'm going to go ahead and just press P4 again. It does have a G there, so maybe that's as far as we'll get for that. And it looks like it's still in the same markings, so I don't know. Oh, no, I didn't have it on English. Now it's on English. Okay, well, it's in the questionable range right now. So we'll go ahead and call this just a weak tube. I don't have anything to replace it with right now. I just wanted to test it and see how good it was doing. Not really all that warm, although it's glowing. We'll go ahead and pull that tube then, and we'll go ahead and get set up for the next tube. Let's see which one is this one here then. Let's see. Looks like I'll save that one for last because that's a 35 one. I think all the rest of these are 12s. That's a 35 as well. Okay, so these three here are all still 12s though. This way I don't have to change the voltage back and forth all the time there. The filament voltage. 12SG7. Alright, I'll go ahead and look that up on the roll chart here. Let's see, 12SG7. Right there. 12.6 volt. JR4765. JR4765-2. That's on 2. The bias should be set to 0. So we'll bring the bias down to 0. And now the English should be set to 0. Okay, so we'll bring the English down to 0 here. Test P1. No, P4 here. English at 83. I gotta start reading these things right. 12SG7. There needs to be a place on here with a line drawn through it, like a like a highlighter where you could set it right where you're looking at it, because I always end up looking at the one just above it. Okay, let me see. 4765-2. 4765-2. Bias at 0, English at 83. 182, 83. There we are. Now, mutual conductance should test at 3300, so we'll go up to the 6000 scale here. And now I'll go ahead and plug this tube in and let it warm up. And we'll give it a minute or two to warm up here and see what comes up. I'll finish my cigarette and we'll do a shorts test right quick. One more puff here on the cigarette. All right. Go ahead and run our shorts test. Okay, no shorts. And now we'll press P4. And then, like I say, it should be 3300. Oh dear. Well, that tube is awful loose in there. I want to go ahead and lean it forward here. It looks like I might need a new tube socket for this tester. Okay, we'll give it another second to finish warming up here, and then we'll test it again. 4. Very weak. It's testing right at 1000. It should be 3300 on mutual conductance. Well, let me go down to the 3000 scale and see if it comes close to pegging it. No. Even on that, it's just up to 1200. Well, it's slowly rising, so I want to go ahead and just keep this pressed in here for a few moments, and I'll test it again. The tube is getting warm, so I know it's making contact. It's still rising slowly. It's up in the questionable. So I guess this tube here is weak too here. Well, questionable doesn't really count on this test. This test is just for micromhos, and right now it's showing about 1400, 1450. 1500. I think it'll be a long time before it gets up to 3300 or even 3000. I always wind up with these radios with weak tubes. Let me see the line adjust now. And I need to. Oh no, it's still right on it. Right dead on. Okay. Let's try this again. Still going up. It's up to 1550. 1550 micromhos. But that looks like about where it's going to hold. It's not offering to go up any higher. Well, it is. It's creeping up higher. Ever so slowly. It's now up to 1600. Well, we'll just let it cook a while. I'll pause this and I'll come back to it in another minute or two and see what happens. Well, alright, I've let it cook for a couple of minutes here now. We'll go ahead and test P4 again and see what happens. Right now it's looking like 1650. So it hasn't really went up or down or anything else. We'll fill the tube here. Tube's nice and hot, yes. So it's just a little over half of what it should be. So we'll call that a weak tube as well. I'll go ahead and pull it out and grab us another one here. Read the figures on it. 12SQ7. My goodness. 12SQ7, 12SQ7. Looks like there's 3 different settings for this. For the triode section, diode number 1 and diode number 2. Apparently, it's a triode and 2 diodes. A triode and a double diode. Okay, so let's see what we set the settings on here then. JX, WX. For the first test, 1603-2. 1603-2, bias to 0, English to 51, and we're ready to go ahead and plug this one in here. There it is. We'll wait a minute. Test it for shorts. See if it's starting to warm. It feels like it's starting to warm up a little bit. I'll give it another second or two here. And we'll go ahead and check it again here. As we can go ahead and perform the shorts test. No shorts. That's good. We'll go ahead and press P4 for this first test. And it should come up to 1,000. And it's not showing anything. Well, let me push this up again. See if that does anything. Well, every one of these tubes is showing about half of what it should show, and or less, or just slightly more. I have to keep my hand on it here to make sure it's getting contact. Let it warm up again now. See, I never had this problem before because I wasn't using it for hardly any octal tubes before. Before the last radio that I did, there was 2 octals in it, but the rest of them were all octals, and the octal socket didn't have any problem. This is the first time I've really extensively used the octal socket on here, And that's probably what I'll end up using most. This is kind of disappointing that I'll have to keep pressure on this thing to get it to work. Let's test again. Showing, about 350 micromhos out of 1,000. Looks like about every tube I got on this thing. Unless I test a new old stock tube in here, all the tubes almost always test weak. That's been my experience with the last 2 radios that I've gotten. There's only one tube that tested good in the last radio that I had, and come to find out, it was a replacement tube that they had replaced only a year or 2 before. So let's see here now. Let me see what I need to set the English now to 0. Okay, bring the English to 0. And press P1. No, 0503-6. So we got to move this again. 0503-6. We'll go ahead and no shorts. Press P1. And apparently no diode either. Barely getting any showing on there at all. All right. We'll go to... Wait a minute. Let me try it now, since it doesn't have a setting on there for that. That brought it up a little bit. Still not much. All right. We'll go to 0403-6. 403-6. And we'll test the other diode. And it's weak as well. The diode is from here up shows okay. And they're only coming up to about here. You see? So, I guess I'll have to order just about all new tubes for this thing too. So far, out of the 6 tubes, 3 of them are weak. So 12 SK7. Let's go to SK7 now. K7. Bias set to 22. Okay. English set to 72. Now then, JR. Bring this back to R. Four, 7, 6, 5, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 6, 5, 3. Still on 12.6 volts. Move this back up to here. P4, mutual conductance range should be 1900. Okay. We'll go ahead and push this tube in, and hopefully we'll soon get a good connection on here. Let me see if it's conducting, and it is. I'll go ahead and test it again here in just a second. Now that one shows it's supposed to be 1900. Alright, well let's test it out here. And it's coming up as 1250. Yep, 1250 out of 1900. So another half-ass tube, pardon my language, but that's pretty much what they all are. Okay, now this one here is a 35Z5. So we'll see if we can't find that on here now. Z5. It's a ballast tube. Looks like about all you can test on it is shorts. No, there is a rectifier section on here. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and set this to 05370. 05370. Bias, nothing. English, nothing. And then we'll just do the shorts on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll go ahead and put this in. See if it's starting to light up any. I'm getting any glow on it or anything else. I can't see that it's even glowing. The top of it looks almost black. The whole inside of the tube kind of looks black. Alright, we'll go ahead and test for shorts. Yeah, we got a short. We got a short on number 1. Number 2 is nothing. A short on number 3, a short on number 4, and a short on number 5. So this tube here is completely dead. No point in testing the other part of it. So, besides, if I go to test the other part of it, I could damage the tube tester with it having shorts in it, so we don't go any further with it. So this one here is a 35L6. Oh, idiot me! Forgot to turn the voltage up, didn't I? Maybe that will make a difference. We'll go ahead and... No wonder it wasn't lighting anything up. I didn't have near enough voltage running through it. Now we'll go ahead and test it for shorts again. Yep. Well, it's not showing shorts on number 1 now. But it's still showing shorts on 3, 4, and 5. So again, this tube, dead as a doornail. When I say it looks dead, it's black up on the top of it there. And if I shake it, I can hear a tinging noise in it. Like something loose in there was wobbling back and forth. Anyway, we got the 35L6 now. So we'll go ahead and try that one out. 35L6, set at 35 volts. JR 53470. 53470. Bias at 39. English at 87. Mutual conductance at 4600, so we'll set this up to the 6000 scale. Now we'll go ahead and put this tube in. This one shows up as kind of jet black too, so I don't know that we'll find anything on it. It doesn't appear to be doing anything either. Let me cut this light out for just a second so I can see. No, it doesn't appear to be lighting up at all. Alright, well, we'll go ahead and test for shorts. No shorts, that's good. Okay, I'll press P4. Well, this tube is showing really good. Well, let's see, it's on the 3,000, excuse me, it's on the 6,000 scale. And it needs to show at 4,600, and it's showing at 4,500. So I'm going to call this tube here good. It's getting warm, even though I never saw a glow on it. So this 135L6 GT tube is about the only strong tube for it. The 35Z5 is completely dead. Well, it's dead shorted, and all the 12.6 volt tubes are all about halfway on the mutual conductance, about half below what they should be. I'm going to press P4 on this one more time. Okay. Yeah, that's showing 4,500. It's supposed to be 4,600. So we'll call this one good then, yeah. Oh, and it's getting hot too. Well, I mean, it's not hot, and I do see it glowing here now that I pulled it out. But yeah, this tube here is the only strong good tube in it. Well, that's nice to know. This thing here having shorts on it, that's nice to know as well. I'll go ahead and cut the power off. And I'll set this one here, there, so I'll know later on. I'll make a note to order a new one of those. But for now, I guess that's all I can do until I get some, at least that 35Z5 tube there. Get a new one of those. And we'll try it with these marginal tubes in it. And if it doesn't perk it up any, well, we'll have to go ahead and order us some more of those too. And I may go ahead and order them anyway just to have them, because I'm sure this isn't the only radio that takes those particular kind of tubes that I'll be working on in the future. So we'll go ahead and, like I say, go ahead and order those up. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn, good practice to go ahead and turn this back down to 6.3. And I'll go ahead and turn all this back down to 0. And I'll go ahead and turn this back down to 3,000. But most of the tubes will be 6.3 or 12.6 or so on, and right around in there. And you don't want it sitting on 35 and accidentally leave it on there when you go to plug a 12 volt tube in, or a 6 volt tube. You'll fry it in a heartbeat. Alright, well, that's about all I can do for right now. So I guess we'll go ahead and sign off of here. Thanks for watching. This is Gary, signing off.